You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the only one media group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on? I am your host, dini-mussolini. Man, there are over 14,000 of you guys on the line with us tonight. What is up? How are you guys doing? I know it's pretty cold outside, right? For some of you guys. I'm not sure about Florida just yet. I think I've heard that Florida did receive like a cold front maybe 2 or 3 days ago. I'm not totally sure about that, but I think I heard that. Who knows? Okay, so Monday, we paid tribute to the passage of time. Our planet has made one more trip around the solar system, and we call that a year. Our perception of time is actually useful because it helps us live our lives. Thousands of years ago, with technology, that would be considered quite crude by today's standards. People were able to accurately measure and anticipate the various seasons of the year. The concept of time has been important for a long time. And like any useful tool, however, time can be abused and misused. Excuses like, I'm too old to do that, or I'll have plenty of time for that later, are a misuse of the concept of time. The first one assumes that there is never enough time. The second one assumes that there is always enough time. My friends, they are both wrong. Time is what you make of it. It does not make you or define you or rescue you from being mediocre. Whether you say there's never enough time or there's always more time, what you're really saying is that you're not willing to make the effort to use time wisely. Consider for the moment the possibility that time does not exist. That is just a convenient concept, a theory that has no basis in reality. Man, what if everything you were, everything you are, and everything you are going to be existed all at once? When you think about it, have you ever really experienced the past or the future? Sure, you have memories of the past, but have you ever been there? Have you ever, went back to relive a day? Unless it's deja vu or you're back from a past life or whatever. But ask yourself that. You have hopes and fears and anticipation for the future, but have you ever been there? The fact is, the only place you exist is now. What if there were no future and no past? What if you had to be everything you could be right now? How would that change you? Time is a tool that humans have invented to help make sense of the universe. It is an extremely useful tool that helps us plan and organize and understand our lives. But guys, time is separate from our existence, just as the hammer is separate from the carpenter. Though the hammer is one of the carpenter's, most useful tool. Though it helps him to fashion his world and accomplish great things, the hammer does not define the carpenter. Does the carpenter stop doing his work just because he has used his hammer for too long? No, of course not. Does that carpenter neglect to do his work because he has a new shiny hammer that will always be here? No. So guys, we must learn to use time for what it is without letting it hold us back. You don't have a lack of time, and you don't have plenty of time. You have only the use of time. It's up to you to use it wisely. That is my word, and word is bond. Take it from me, Dini-Mussolini.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
Well, and well again. Tonight's episode is the Bo Blitz Interview, and I am your host again, as you haven't guessed it, or maybe you have. You're smart. I'm Dini-Mussolini. So yeah, we're going to dive deep into this thing and get to know who Bo Blitz is as an artist. But before we do that, we have to do this.
Wow! Do you have an idea that needs to get out there? PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people with ideas to get to the industry.
PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people with great ideas to get to the industry and to the public. Do you have ideas that need to get out there? Go to PitchYourIdeas.org and get your ideas out there.
PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people with great ideas to get to the industry and to the public. Do you have ideas that need to get out there? Go to PitchYourIdeas.org and get your ideas out there. PitchYourIdeas.org is looking for people who don't know what to do with your talent or ideas. People who have ideas, inventions, movie scripts, TV scripts, and ideas that will entertain, inform, or make things better should go to PitchYourIdeas.org.
And there you have it, PitchYourIdeas.org. Visit PitchYourIdeas.org. If you have ideas about the music industry, the movie industry or TV show or any kind of invention, and you don't really know what to do with it, it's stuck on your hard drive or in your notebook or in your cranium, who knows, visit pitchyourideas.org. They are the people who can help you place your ideas and get everything all sorted out for you all nice and neat. Okay, so back to what we were doing. The Bo Blitz interview. Music has always been a matter of energy to me. A question of fuel. Sentimental people call it inspiration maybe, but what they really mean is fuel. I've always needed fuel. I'm a serious consumer. On some nights, I still believe that a car with the gas needle on empty can run about 20 more miles if you have the right music playing very loud. And we are somewhat metaphorically speaking. Music is a motivator, even when you have those empty days or empty moments in your life. I like to think that about music. And I also like to say Bo Blitz can even pen the soundtracks to our lives. Let's take a second or two at the beginning, not only to welcome Bo Blitz here, but to let him introduce himself as well. And with that, Bo Blitz, you are now live in the mix with all of us. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. Thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So you're out in California, right?
Yeah, I'm out in California, San Francisco to be exact, Bay Area. Been doing it out here for a little bit, been a local artist here, making some things happen.
Man?
Mm-hmm.
So, we've been having crazy cold weather lately. How it is in San Francisco?
The city is usually pretty balanced. It stays pretty balanced. We don't go too far, in the extreme heat or too far in the extreme rain and cold and stuff like that. So we all right. It's a little drizzles here and there, but we got plenty of warm clothing out here, so we should be all right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Cool deal.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you feeling in this new year?
Man, you know what? I'm really feeling blessed. I'm really feeling blessed because I'm finally in a position in my life and in my career where I can pursue something with as much passion and dedication and determination that it takes to succeed. So this new year has brought a lot of opportunity to me, and it's basically placed it at my doorstep, and I'm very anxious to get started, chipping away at these opportunities and making some great things happen. I'm feeling real good about 2018, brother.
Man, that's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. So, Thank you so much for, taking some time to talk about music with us. Your time is definitely appreciated. And there's a lot that we want to ask you about. So I'll try not to ramble too much on my end, but, that's not exactly the strength that I have. So let's talk about you, though. It looks like exciting times are just ahead of you. You're about to release the EP, Spooky Action at a Distance, this month.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It'll be coming out probably the last week of January. It'll be out in stores later on. Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. You going out on a full-blown campaign, touring, shaking hands, kissing babies, that type of thing?
You know what? I'm definitely trying to do everything it takes to get the music into the hands of the fans. Being an artist is kind of difficult to focus on a lot of things at once. You're so consumed with, having the product be ready. You're so consumed with having the beat sound right and, your lyrics come off right and all that other stuff that you forget. It takes time to interact with fans and to do your promotions and to really set your fan base, set yourself up with a strong foundation to push forward so that people can know what you're about, so that your music is easily accessible to them and so they can really get that feel for you. It's tough to get a feel for artists just by if you just hear a song without being able to see them or without, hearing anything that they got to say about their background or where they came from. So, it's been a real good experience being able to get a hold of people and network and do things like that, to be able to bring myself and my personality out to the fans.
Yeah, and that's real interesting what you said, man. And based on, all the things you listed that has to go along with, dropping new music, do you ever feel like that actually takes away from your creativity, takes away from your music a little bit?
I can see how it could for an artist. I definitely can see how, how having to shift your attention or having to multitask, being multifaceted, I can see how that can throw some artists off because there's a big misconception about music. Once you decide this is your career and you want to push forward and do things with it, it's not just, writing raps on loose leaf note paper or freestyling with your boys and stuff like that. You got to take it a lot more seriously. There are other things you got to do to put yourself in a position to succeed. So, when you ask me that question, I don't see it as I have to, make any adjustments for it. I see it as something on the checklist, something saying I have to stay focused while I do this as well. There's only one way to pass the test. I can't get half the answer right. So if that's what's required, that's definitely something, that I spend more time and attention to focus on. But I've only learned that after maturing and making those mistakes so not to repeat them again.
Definitely. See, that's how we know you're going places, man. Because based off that answer alone, that is a very smart answer based off of experience. So I guess you had to travel down that road and learn, that multitasking, multifaceted of the industry is very much needed and not necessarily I guess you'd say a 9-to-5 chore, as some artists describe it. Yeah,
absolutely right. There are things that are more so mandatory. And I think the more you come in with an open mind, expecting there to be work, expecting there to be tasks and challenges, the greater shot you have at being successful. This is work. You know what I mean? They say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. That's very true. However, if you work hard at what you love, then that love comes right back, and you ain't got to call it, work. So I can definitely say that I love what I do, and I put a lot into it. I don't put more than I have, but everything that I have, I put in. And that's been the drive, the fuel. Like you say, if I feel like, I could get another 20 miles out of this car if I start on the right song, I think about that when I'm faced with a challenge. When something looks like Mount Everest to me, I'm like, hey, man, well, I'm already on E. I done gave it my all. But I know if I dig deep enough, there's something else in there. There's always something else. That's what makes us strong people. That's what makes us spiritual people. That's what makes us be able to do great things as human beings. So I try and tap into that power as often as I can, because it's a power that not too many people know how to use, but it's the most beautiful blessing once you learn how to harness it and unleash it in the right way.
Definitely, man. So we already know that you're a genius, okay? But for those that are familiar with you as a solo artist, give us an idea of what this new EP is all about.
So with this new EP, what I really wanted to do is once again challenge myself. I think there's a lot of stuff being recycled today, within hip hop, which is cool on a certain stance. But then I think that there's the individuality is being stripped from us as artists. I think it's being controlled a little bit more by the powers that be. And I feel that the platform for artists such as myself and other up-and-coming emerging artists is slowly starting to deteriorate. And so when I put together this EP, I wanted to make it as unique as I possibly could from the other stuff I've ever done and been associated with, and really go and look at myself as an artist. I don't want to just be seen as a rapper, as just, or a vocalist or a guy just to do a hook, because really as a person, I'm much more than that. I'm only choosing to show the world the artist side of it, my passion and my love. I do so many other things in life that make me, that make me humble, to actually be able to do this. I go through so many experiences, and I've had so many experiences that really, me being able to put my passion forward and show the world is this blessing. You know what I mean? And so that's how I treat it. And with this with this album, I went ahead and I put songs together that way. I wanted to show the different parts of me, and I wanted to reflect them musically. And I wanted some stuff to be a little bit more upbeat and clubby. I wanted some stuff to sit back and make you think. I wanted some stuff to kind of hit home with you. And I want something that you can kick back and, pour some of that into. If you light them things up, light up some of that good, and, you can feel yourself. So it's a lot of me and a lot of different parts of me that come through in this album. So that's what I kind of was hoping to show with the tracks that I put together and the style behind each of the tracks, because each of the tracks is unique in its own way.
Definitely, man. I like that when an artist can emerge themselves into their project to where it's something that they have to do from a personal point of view. And speaking of all the personal things you mentioned, what did this EP teach you about you?
Well, this EP, what it taught me was basically that it takes a lot to put together the music that you want to put together. As an artist, it's too easy to be by other things and be influenced by other outside forces or other outside influences or peers or anything like that. So, for me, it's more so about being able to put something together that expresses who I am. You know what I mean? In a certain sense, it kind of says a lot about on that personal level about who I am.
Definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, yep. All right. Did you feel like making the EP changed you somewhat by the end of the experience in terms of who you were when you started, in contrast to who you were by the time you finished it up? Every time you start a project, you always have certain things in mind. You want them to come out in your head. You have a vision of the way things are going to play out and go. But from start to finish here, I pretty much stayed the same. I mean, you always learn new things. You learn better ways to go about doing things. Each experience is different like that. But you definitely want to take the positives from everything you learned before and apply them, ahead to go. I mean, apply them ahead as you go along. But really, I've been through so many things, and I feel like I was so well prepared to be able to do this, as far as being able to create the music and having a clear vision of what I wanted the project to be, that, little hiccups here and there have kind of slowed things up, but nothing major, I feel, has really changed, or I've had to necessarily, any new kind of experience has just really dawned on me. I feel like I was pretty well prepared. And to be honest, all the kind of hiccups that have come haven't been with the music. It's been so, more getting my marketing right, getting my promotional stuff right, because as I mentioned earlier, as an artist, you're consumed with, making the track hot and everything else, that, it's really no problem for me at this point. I can get in the studio, and make a song in 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and have it be a great song. Or I can get in there all night and have it be a great song. So that part of getting the music down and having it there and going through stuff like that, I feel like I have it down real strong. And it's pretty much just getting in touch with the fans and getting in touch with people, letting them know who you are, letting them know what you stand for. That's been, more of a bigger challenge is, getting the recognition for some of these things. Definitely. All right. And what challenge you... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I had to sip my drink, man. My bad.
Oh, good. And what challenged you the most during the recording of the new EP?
What challenged me the most?
Mm-hmm.
Man, to be honest, I'm a perfectionist, dude. Like, I could go through and hear a song, be like, okay, that's it. And the next morning I wake up, get back in the studio, oh, man, did you hear that line right there? Oh, no, that ain't flowing right. Oh, no, it switched over the beat. Oh, no, this got to drop. So, I mean, I go back in and change stuff so much, until I feel it's right. But I've had to learn, definitely, that, there comes a point where you have things very, very well prepared, and if you touch it too much, it's going to, completely ruin it, or it's going to mess it up. Like that good gumbo. You put a little bit too much seasoning in it, then it's going to be gross. But if you got that just right amount, you're going to be fine. So it helps to have, a good engineer with in there with me, which I do have. It definitely helps, with touching up stuff, and it's a good second ear to have. So the most part with me has just been getting things down and learning to be content with it. No matter how much I think I hear something else, the presentation of it is pretty much ready. And I can go in all day and tweak stuff here, tweak stuff there, but you got to let the masterpiece be, man. Michelangelo didn't go back in and touch stuff up all the way, and Leonardo da Vinci wasn't going back in after it was already done to say, I could do this. So, you got to let well deep. You got to be comfortable with things. So that was one of the big things in this project, is just making sure I had it so I was real comfortable, and, just letting it be and letting the fans, letting the public judge for themselves.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, we already classified you as a genius. Do you allow yourself to feel success of what you already achieved in the past?
You know what? I've had so many great accomplishments that have humbled me. You know, just things in my life I've done that it's hard to celebrate or feel success, because in my mind it hasn't necessarily happened yet. You know, I'm the type of person who likes to have things already done before I go, you know, bragging and boasting or sharing good news with people. I've had too many things fall apart. I've had, you know, whether it be meant to be, act of God, whatever you want to call it, you know, I've had too many experiences to count those chickens before they hatch. So I know that, you know, when I'll be able to have my success and sit back and actually enjoy it, I know I won't feel any stress on my chest, or no weight on my shoulders. You know what I mean? But I always feel like success is kind of what we make of it. So I'm definitely happy to get this far, you know, and I'm definitely feel privileged to be have gotten this far, because I know other artists who have, you know, very difficult times reaching the level I'm at, and yet I can still listen to the radio or turn on any type of video show right now and see artists who are in the position that I'm trying to get to, you know. So my success, you know, I'm thankful for all the great things that happen. I'm continuously pushing forward, but, you know, I ain't got nothing in the bank yet, and you can hear it in the music. And that's the one thing I want to stay consistent with, is whether I got my success, whether, you know, I don't have it, whether I'm in between getting it, the message in the music and the person I am has to always stay consistent. So that way, when these things do happen and that good fortune does fall upon me, I know exactly what it's like to still be hungry and still have that drive, because I've never said I made it. Other people will always say you made it. You know, you could ask Steph Curry, you could ask LeBron James, oh man, have you made it? Yeah, and there's still stuff they want to do in a career. You know, there's still stuff they want to do in their career. Same thing with other artists who go away and they come back. You know, it's things that they want to do that other people may see, oh man, you've already done it, you know, you're already there. But in my eyes, it's always more to be done. You know, until I'm ready to really hang it up and say, I've ran my course and I've done everything I possibly could, you know, and I've left y'all with my blood, sweat, and tears, you know, my music and my performances and everything I do in my interviews, you know, that's when I'll say, okay, you know, I've had success. But success don't really come to the end of your career. Things can always be taken away from you in a heartbeat. So, you know, once I'm done and I hang it up, that's when I'll be able to look back and say, you know what, I could say that this was a successful run. I did something good, you know.
Exactly. That's a great answer, man. With all that you've gone through to get here, how do you feel like you define success these days?
You know, I think it's personal for everybody, man. I don't necessarily think it's a lot of the money. I don't think it's the cars. I don't think it's, you know, the fame. All those things, they kind of, you know, they come with it. If you are successful, you don't never have to go looking for the shit. You know, it's going to find you. So, I mean, you know, I really think for every individual it's different. But for me personally, I would have to say longevity. That's the ultimate success in my eyes. It means that you're doing something, you know, that's continuously in the loop. You're never falling out of current times. You're always, you know, active, whatever it is, you know, in the public eye, or, you know, in your own private life, if you're doing other things to help build your own, you know, your labels, or you're venturing off doing other business type of things, that's where that kind of comes in. So in my eyes, you know, success will be measured pretty much by how long I can do it. You know, how long I can do it and be good at it, man. You don't want to stick around. You don't want the game to kick you out before you're ready to leave, you know what I'm saying? So in my eyes, it's all about being consistent and being strong and having longevity. And that'll pretty much be able to, you know, I'll be able to look back and say, yeah, this is how I define success. You know, it's my longevity. I've been able to do this, and I've been able to maintain a certain quality of excellence, you know, for a very long time. I've been able to sell out shows, and I've been able, you know, to pack other shows, and I've been able to push albums, and I've been able to do these great things. You know, so at the end of the day, I think that's what it'll be for me. It's that longevity.
Nice. So the music, man, the soul of everything that we do on this planet, how are you going to keep the music of Bo Blitz relevant over time?
Good question. I think that, you know what the funny thing is music, it loops, right? We go through phases. You know, you see certain stuff come in and go out of style. I mean, same thing with fashion, you know, same thing with a bunch of other stuff. But I think music is on that point where it's coming back around to definitely people are getting more interested with the artists. And I think that now, since there's, it's easy to duplicate certain sounds, that individual creativity part is going to start to have to creep back out, because people are going to, start to look for that. It's a real problem when you can make a song that sounds exactly like your favorite artist, and your favorite artist is getting cashed out. I would advise a lot of people out there to get on your GarageBand, or get on your laptop and auto-tune it. You'll probably make a hit. So don't be shy to do that. But the longevity part, which I speak of, it takes a lot more than that, and you got to be willing to do what it takes to push it and to go that far. And a big part of that is making sure you stay relevant. It's knowing your homework. You know what I mean? A lot of times today you hear a lot of remixes to old stuff. You're like, oh, that song, it's an old song, but they bring it back. There's a couple artists and a couple producers who are phenomenal at it, and they bring back old stuff all the time, and the younger generations don't even know. So the way I want to go about it is definitely remembering those times and where the music has came from and how it's evolved every decade. So that way, when I can bring something back, it'll be more so, me bringing something back and not starting another quick trend. Trends usually come in and out. But when you have a little bit of the knowledge, you understand the way the music game moves and the way we go in and out of, grooves and stuff like that. When time passes, I think it's easier to catch back on. I've had a lot of time to study music and to learn stuff like that. So I'm thinking that the wave is hitting now. That's why I'm making my push so hard for 2018.
Man, that's so important, man, what you said. I don't really listen to Lil Yachty, and I'm not going to, say what he said verbatim, but he mentioned that he know what he's doing now in music isn't going to last forever. That is just, it's going to fade out eventually while he's still young. Yeah, he was like, he's talking like when he's, 26, 27, that he probably won't be doing this anymore. I mean, he already know there's a limit on the type of music he makes. Part of me want to say, man, that's sad that, you're just going on to something just for the thrill of the moment. I mean, it's cool, YOLO, whatever, live your life. But, to recognize that what you're doing isn't going to last, or the way you're doing it isn't going to last, because hip-hop has stood the test of times when people said, oh, man, this is going to fizzle out 20 years. And then 20 years roll around, 20 more years, and it's going to keep going and evolving and changing eventually. So I think it's very important, what you said, having a plan in place for your music. And Yachty didn't have a plan. After he's a certain age, he doesn't know what he's going to do. It's almost like, all right, after college, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, what's your whole take on that? Like, is that a waste of time to you, or is just, live for the moment type of thing?
Yeah, man, you know what? It really is a little bit of both. I really think that as society and as the media and as fans and stuff like that, when we get a chance to really evaluate another artist, like I said, we only get a certain portion, or a certain part or a certain portion of that artist and of who they really are. And a lot of times it's some bullshit. A lot of times what you're seeing is some bullshit. It ain't what you'll hear somebody say in the interview, or it's not, necessarily, they don't want to show you, who they really are, or all of who they are, should I say. So, I mean, when you tell me that story about Yachty, it makes a lot of sense, seeing how he's a younger cat, and, the things about rap, fascinated him. Same way it probably fascinates everybody. You see guys, glorifying money and being able to do whatever they want, living a lifestyle of, really being free, so to speak, and having everything at your disposal, and really just being, wasteful of resources is what I usually see. I see people being wasteful of their resources. So, when you put that together with the environment that he may have came up in, and other experiences that have led him along the path to become a rapper, I mean, it's more so like, in my opinion at least, well, shit, I need to do something to make some money, because, if I ain't got, whatever other career background, or if I ain't strongly passionate about nothing else, or, if I haven't had certain, schooling or been educated on other things so I can take my career somewhere else, or, even do something different after music, there ain't too much there. So, it doesn't surprise me as much. I see more artists and stuff like that, because the fame is what does it. But, I mean, it's fine in my opinion if he did that. And let's say he made, however many millions or whatever he's making, and you take that money and you hang on to it. You know what I mean? So you take that money and now you cool off rap. I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm going to start up get into Wingstop like Rick Ross or something. I'm going to go ahead and do this other business. So it depends on what he's using it for. You know what I mean? I think they've been pimping hip-hop for the longest time, period. Oh, yeah. So I can't be mad at you for getting in there and getting your money. When I was a young cat, I fell in love with hip-hop, and excuse the term, but it's like I was in love with the girl everybody was fucking. I'm sitting up here trying to be faithful and marry, no disrespect to females or anything like that. But, that's how it felt. You care so much, and you just want to do anything to be recognized and have this appreciation, and you see other people just totally abusing it and getting everything they want and leaving it. You know what I mean? Like they ain't putting nothing back. So your carbon footprint, so to speak, is really getting big without you dumping nothing back and trying to replenish that resource, man. So, like I said, younger cats, it don't surprise me, but hopefully, artists like Young Yachty and all the other cats around who making some money right now and really in the eye of the public and their fans, hopefully they do got some people in their ear, letting them know that if you want to do hip-hop, be you, so that when this wave or whatever is over, you can do whatever you want to do. You see artists like Weezy skateboarding and doing rock and roll now because, you can't be a thug all your life. You can't be crazy all your life. Or you can't do whatever. You don't wake up like that. We in a constant balance every second of every day to be a person. It's too easy to be pulled left, to be pulled right. So we always trying to balance. We always trying to find something new. And that's what I think that's going to have to happen with artists like that. Once they get to that point, they're going to have to find balance, and they're going to have to find something new. Otherwise, their careers are done. And, sounds like young Lil Yachty know it. So hopefully you got something better to come.
Totally agree. Now, let's take it back to before survival of just living life. Because something, someone, or some live performance, or some record made music super important to you along the way. And that was a good analogy, in love with the girl, everybody else is no shame to the ladies, or no harm to the ladies. But right. So, something stuck with you enough so that you wanted to pursue music as an entire career. I don't think people acknowledge or really realize just how important those moments are. But something has to send us towards this same notion that making music as a living is a great idea. And it is a great idea. Screw what everybody thinks, Right. We all know that by the time we get there, but still, whatever it is that sends us in that direction has to be pretty damn powerful. What would you say that defining moment was for you?
Oh man, wow, great question. There was probably at least two or three of them, but to kind of narrow it down, I had went to do a opening act for Too Short, and this was up in Reno. This was over. He was doing something for the Bunny Ranch. They had a big old thing where the girls came out and Short was performing. It was like a Pimps a Players Ball, something like that. And I only had like maybe one or two songs, and I was with my boy. He got hooked up with whoever the people who was doing the promo stuff. They said we could come along. We could perform. We could do all this other stuff. We could be one of the opening acts. And we were able to go through. We went to Reno. We opened up, and the energy of the crowd was crazy. And the energy of the crowd, because people could have been drunk, they could have been high, whatever it was, but the energy of the crowd was crazy. And the thing that really set it off was the way they engaged with the music. You know what I mean? It's just the vibe and the flow, how everybody kind of honed in with the song. And this is an artist that nobody knows. You know what I mean? I'm on stage for, first, second time, really, really young, kind of shaking in my boots a little bit. And the energy from the crowd, man, it did something to me. It was an experience. It's kind of hard to put it into words because it's so much feeling. And it's so much feeling that it's hard to describe because you don't want to sell the experience short. You know what I mean? But it was something I had never felt before, being on stage, being in front of so many people, and having them, vibe with me and react to the music. And by the end of the song, they saying the hook with you, and you going by and you slapping people five, and like yeah, and it's just that, man, that feeling is crazy, dude. Yeah. I've been a fan before, and I've been in it. But to have all that energy and emotion and just in the air and just channel that you and everybody is rocking, it's so powerful. It's addictive. It's stronger than anything I've ever felt before. You know what I mean? It's pretty potent. You know what I mean? It's pretty potent. It's almost as strong as anything I've ever felt before. Love is actually number one. You know what I mean? Off top. But this is a real close feeling to it. And that was the one that did it for me. The show went great. We were able to hang out and do all types of stuff after, and then when Short came on, of course, everybody really went crazy. But, being up there and feeling that energy, man, it's magical, dog. It's magical. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. So that was probably the top moment for me where I said, hey, man, I really want to do this. I'm really good. I'm really strong-headed. I'm really going to push. I really got strong ambition. And, I think I'm worthy of such things because there are certain things I want to do, with a platform. I don't necessarily want to get up there and just flash you money or to, do whatever, show about cars. I got a lot of things I want to say because I've had experience, and there are a lot of other young black males in my situation and in other situations who can benefit, from somebody telling them something else and just, pick up that strap or fuck that bitch or sell that dope or, everybody get by how they got to. But I feel there's a lot of that out there, and it ain't, too much of the other stuff. So I'm kind of trying to balance it. Like I said, it's all about balance in my eyes.
Love it. So we can always talk about obstacles that would have, to be overcame in order to make your new EP. But let's face it, some of that, a lot of times some things just snap into place. Things can flow so smoothly sometimes where we assume there'll be stress, maybe there's none, that kind of thing. So tell us about what surprised you about making the new EP on the positive side. What were the real highlights of the recording sessions?
You know what? I would actually have to say, on this album, right? I do a little bit of singing. So Ooh. I've never done anything like that on any of my other songs or any songs I've ever been on. And so, I guess you could call it singing, harmonizing. I ain't no singer, but I do a little bit of harmonizing, and I put it in. I put my own flair on it. You got a lot of other artists who are really good at switching up their voice and doing other things to take you to a different place and to show you more range more the range that they have. And so, "Girl of My Dreams" is one of those songs that kind of surprised me. On what I was able to kind of do and put together because it's new, it's experimental, but confidence, and having a vision. And so that's what really kind of balanced it off for me, was having confidence and having a vision of, stepping out on that ledge and seeing exactly what I can do. And I could definitely say that when I had the finished product, even building up to, the finished product, when we had it in the post mix and stuff, where we're going through and putting stuff in, taking stuff out and making sure everything is sounding good, even in those moments, it was a different experience. So it was something that I was used to, but there were certain things that were a little bit different because of that added vocal range that I put on there. And it really kind of caught me off guard by what I was able to do, and it kind of gave me a little bit of satisfaction, saying that it's okay to try things and be bold. It's definitely okay. If you fail, it's not about failing, it's about getting back up. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you give it your all and that you're prepared so that failure won't be as likely of an option. I definitely feel that what I did with the "Girl of My Dreams" song, it surprised me in the end because it came out the way I wanted, but it also came out a little bit better because I wasn't expecting certain things to shine through, in the song the way they do, in my opinion. So that was probably the biggest kind of shocker for me, or the most pleasantly surprised I was, with this album being complete.
What inspired you to attempt to harmonize or sing on this record?
I do it all the time. I don't have any training in I never had a vocal coach or anything like that. But I mean, what sounds good. The same way when I make beats and when I write my songs, I go for what sounds good. I know what sounds good. So it might be a little bit out of key, but that's why you need a good engineer, or you need another good producer in there to kind of help, smooth out the rough parts. Because when all the talent is coming from one person, it's kind of like you want other people to be right there to kind of sharpen you just a little bit, you know what I mean? Because the raw material is always going to be potent, and that's what attracts people to it. But the more we can fine-tune and chip and shape and make it look good, man, it's going to have an even more powerful impact once it's delivered. So it was a good experience being able to put something together that in my opinion can shine the way it can. You know, I'm thinking that it'll be able to do some really good things, and it'll be able to hit the way it's supposed to hit, and it shouldn't, you know, miss in any way like that.
Definitely. I like to ask this question. Were you listening to any other artists, you know, right before you started recording Spooky Action at a Distance? Like, did any other artists inspire you at any point, you know, to make this EP?
You know, the biggest inspiration behind there wasn't necessarily another artist. To be honest, man, a lot of my favorite artists are dead. You know what I mean? Like they're not really around, so I listen to other artists and stuff like that to see what the fans are consuming. And there are a couple artists out there who I enjoy listening to, you know, who I feel make quality music, you know, whether it's trap music, whether it's more smoother R&B, whether it's party music. You know, there are some artists out there who really get it, you know, and they're doing good things right now. But this album, it mainly just came from, it was inspired by my other work, you know, by me looking back and seeing, okay, you know, this is what I've done, you know, this is who I am. And now, like you say, the evolution. You were talking about the evolution of music and time going on. So now if I can look back and see the past while I'm in the present, I can put that to my advantage moving forward. So that's what I tried to do with this one. So the only artist that was really inspiring me was the old me, and showing me, wanting to show the old me that I progressed and I become a new me. But everything that made me good in the first place, or everything that I valued in the first place, is still the core foundation, and we've only built upon that. We've become a pyramid. So you ain't did nothing to the base, you've only built upon the base, and you've only become sharper reaching the top. So in my eyes, that's just what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be me, man.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. After the music break, we'll be back to put Bo Blitz in our traditional hot seat to hear either some vocals, poems, spoken word, freestyle rap, maybe a joke or a story, or maybe even a live instrument. Well, you never know what these creative minds and vessels were produced in the spotlight. So when we come back, we'll find out if he has what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for right now, we have Bo Blitz, Girl of My Dreams, and we'll be right back.
You're the baddest thing that I ever seen. Baby, be my queen. I'll give you anything. Diamonds and pearls, trips all across the world. You could be my favorite girl. You could be my only girl. I really like your style. I really like your smile. And I like your swag. No need to brag. Girl, be mine. You be on my mind. You be so damn fine. I wouldn't waste your time, but I want you. Say that you want you. I want you. Say that you want me to. I'm down on my knees, and I'm begging you please, not to let your heart freeze. My love burns at 1,000 degrees. I'm just trying to be everything you want me to be, everything you need me to be, everything from A to Z. So don't break my heart, don't pull us apart, don't play that card. You know I loved you right from the start. I'm just playing it cool, trying not to play the fool. But what am I to do when the only thing I want is you? I want you. Say that you want you. I want you. Say that you want me to. I want you. Say that you want me to. I want you. Say that you want. I'm hoping reflection of the mirage. I'm open against all odds. This emotion is hard to dodge. Feelings I've been pushing back like a massage. Yeah, I be digging your vibes. Instruments menage when I look in your eyes. My heart beat like band practice in the garage. I often picture us together added to the collage. Yeah, can I admit I adore you? Cherished you from the very first second I saw you. My word is my bond and that's what I am sworn to. It's us against the world if that's what it comes to. I want you, say that you want you. I want you, say that you want me to. Girl, I'm going insane, cause you stay on my brain. So much joy and pain, like money and fame. See, I ain't pulling no strings, and I ain't playing no games, and I ain't cooking up schemes. You're the girl of my dreams, and crazy as it seems, we're both human beings, but behind the scenes, you're more like an angel with wings. Cause your loving is strong. I said your loving is strong. And long after I'm gone, it'll keep me holding on.
True-noblest.com. Let's go. Hey, stay fit, stay motivated, stay focused. Quality over everything, True Noblest. If you looking for a brand that's the dopest, something that you can rock, you'll look the coldest. T-shirts, beanies and hats, sweatshirts, even hoodies with a tank to match. You can wear it at the gym or when you run on the track. Need to check the website, yeah, I'm telling you facts. Hey, True-Noblest, got you looking good, you know this. Take a picture, I mean right now. It ain't just a brand, baby, it's a lifestyle. Yeah, True-Noblest, quality over everything. Yeah.
And there you have it, True-Noblest.com for all your hottest gear, t-shirts, beanies, hats, shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, you name it. True-Noblest.com. Visit them right now. All right. So yeah, Bo Blitz, his song. Look, guys, you gotta go see the music video. It has a crazy storyline. I actually included a link to the video, well, actually to his YouTube channel in the description of the show. So all you have to do is click that link and check out the music video to that song. It's dope, and you'll like it because I loved it. All right, so Monday was the first working day of the new year, 2018. A whole new year is ahead of us. A whole year to put plans into actions to make dreams a reality. Many people have had a few days or a few weeks away from work. You guys got it made. Man, people were booking interviews all through Christmas. They wanted New Year's Eve. They wanted New Year's Day, the day after New Year's. Vigilantes Radio was booked solid, and we still are for the rest of this week and next week. We're rolling. So, I guess the ones who took off work were the lucky ones. And of course, I did spend time with family, of course. I got kids. That time has to come, right? Excuse me. The accepted wisdom is that we must work hard to get ahead. That's not my motto. My motto is work smart, But, working hard to get ahead is not really true. It doesn't really matter how hard you work. What matters is how much you get done. Many people fall into the trap of doing a lot of work without ever getting anything done. And there are a few artists I know that constantly talking about their grinding 24/7, no sleep gang. But I personally and professionally think they're chasing their own tails. Once you realize your experience from, chasing your own tail, I did it too. We learn the value of time. The value of you. You are the one who make the music. Even in business, you're the one who make the business. You, your ideas, your talent, your God-given talent, or your God-given talent that you nurtured into something, you know, that's able to multiply and plant other seeds into other ventures, which is really supposed to happen, you know. But, and you know people like that. They're always talking about they're working hard, or they're working 3 or 4 jobs, and they're still in that thing called the hole or the trap or whatever you want to call it. And it's like, yo, you're working hard, but is it really paying off for you? It's killing you. I see it in your face, man. You're not living life, you know? And if that's you and you're listening, you know, I really want you to think about it. You're grinding hard. I've been there too. And it just seemed like, you know, you can't get out of that trap. But you're grinding hard, right? Sticking it to the man. Riding that clock, yeah. But how does one get out of that trap? That's the $1 million question. You start by learning to value yourself and your time. You know, this whole interview has been about time, value, and experience. Bo Blitz gets it, right? I'll say it again. You start by learning to value yourself and your time. You must believe that you are worthwhile, that you're a valuable individual with something unique to contribute to the world. When you adopt that mindset, you'll realize what a shame it is to waste your time. You want to find ways to be more productive because you value your own time so highly. And among those ways is to be more productive. Learn to say no. Unfortunately, people will take advantage of you if you let them. If they know that you'll do their work for them, then they will let you do it. If they're doing something equally valuable in return, that's no problem. It's the law of exchange. The problem comes when they start to take advantage of you. In the long run, no one benefits. You get bogged down in unproductive activity, and they develop a dependency mindset. For your sake and theirs, learn to say no firmly and politely. Here's the second thing. Deal with things as they come up. Problems don't go away by themselves. They just get worse. If you don't deal with things immediately, you'll waste time worrying about them. And by the time you get around to dealing with them, it usually takes more time and effort than if you had handled it earlier. Another thing, keep focused. There are hundreds of distractions that can knock you off task. Facebook is one of them. Since this summer, I have not been actively on, not this summer, the summer of 2017. I kind of had a Facebook detox. I don't check it as much because I was finding myself spending hours. You know, you see something, some video, and then it leads to another video, and then there's discussions, and hours were slipping away from me. I had to cut that out. I got things to do. Find a way to focus on your goals. Write them down and review them several times a day to keep yourself on track, on task. More importantly, find a reason behind what you're doing. When you're confident of what you're doing and why you're doing it, you will stay focused. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for your family. That's a good reason to stay focused, right? I ain't got to tell you guys that. You know that. You're smart. Your genius is like Bo Blitz. Another thing, never stop learning. Always be on the lookout for new ways to do something. Just because you've done something the same way for 3 years doesn't mean that that's the best way to do it. Step outside your box and look for new and different ways to work. Remember, guys, it's not how hard you work, it's how much you get done that counts. Keep yourself focused on what needs to be done, and you'll get to where you want to be. Take it from me, Dini-Mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond. Don't forget to check out that music video. we're at the point where Dini reads your email. Why does my boyfriend keep borrowing money from me and never takes me out? Oh, good question. How long has this been going on? If this has happened on a consistent basis for some time, why are you still letting him take the money without question? Don't forget that it's your money, not his. And I assume that you've never questioned him about it. Does he pay you back? Is there a lot of misinformation? There's a lot of misinformation here. I don't know all the details of your situation. I don't know if he works or not. Does he tell you he's going to pay you back? Does he have a problem? Maybe drinking or drugs, a secret life elsewhere, maybe a wife or a love child somewhere? Possibly a condition you're not aware of. Maybe. Who knows? Do you live together? So I can't really provide, my Oprah analysis without all the proper details. But I will tell you what, from the little bit that I know about your dilemma, if you have to question why your boyfriend doesn't take you out with money you lend him, apparently there's a lot to learn about being in a relationship on your part. If you, and I don't want to be mean, but this looks like there's sucker written all over this. And, I assume that you're a very nice person, but, nice is also like a doormat to people just walking all over it. Hopefully I'm wrong, and he has good intentions with it. Nonetheless, best of luck to yourself, and don't let anyone take advantage of you, not even your boyfriend. By the way, he's a boyfriend and not a husband. Big difference, so you really don't owe him anything. Stand up for yourself and say something. That is your right. Also, have you tried asking him? Relationships are based off of communication. His answer will give you a good idea of what's going on in his head and also prompt you to stay or leave. Do not ignore the evidence once you have it and make a decision based off of that evidence. All right, second email. How do you keep on living when you don't want to? Wow. Okay, so everyone has a purpose in life. Until and unless you have served your purpose, you have not lived your life to the full extent. And you actually owe that to yourself to do that, to be able to live your life how you want it to the fullest extent. Find your purpose, my friend, and I'm sure you will find the answer to what you want. I even let my special guest, Bo Blitz, take a crack at that question. Bo Blitz, the question is, how do you keep on living when you don't want to?
Man, I really think you hit the nail on the head. I've been unfortunate enough to lose a lot of people close to me that I care about. And if you're ever feeling like you don't want to go on or you can't go on, first of all, you got to truly look at that situation and understand that you have a choice there. There are a lot of people who wake up and they leave their house and don't come back. People have this beautiful gift called life stricken from them and affected their family and affected their community and affected other loved ones. So for you to hold such a decision in your hands and think so little of your life to whereas you want to end it without, like you say, going through and trying to fulfill your purpose or at least find that purpose. I think that would be a tremendous waste, because I know every single one of my friends and every single one of my loved ones, and every time I turn on the news and hear about something tragic happening, I know every single one of those people, if we can bring them back for just a moment and ask them, do they want their life back, they'll tell you, yeah. So, be appreciative of what you have. Maybe you're not, too in touch with some spirituality or something like that, or maybe you need someone to talk you through those tough times to feel like someone cares about you so that you can turn around and, flip your situation around. So it's definitely other roads to take before you check yourself out. You're going to check out anyway. That's a stamp that's put on all of us. So I wouldn't be so quick to rush that without knowing what's ahead,
Man, that's a great answer, Bo. Great answer.
Yeah, man, you're
right,
a real relations with some real stuff.
Thank you guys for the emails as always. But we got to keep it short. We got to keep it moving. Bo Blitz, you're in our favorite part of the segment, is our hot seat. What do you have for us?
Oh, man, I can give you a little bit of fire.
All right. You said a little bit of fire. All right, now.
Let me see. Let's see. Yeah. Flow spitter, show ripper, dime hitter, cash getter, Mr. Pull it out the zipper, duffel bags you need a forklift just to pick up, gold bottles all night, $1,000 hiccup, the mic checker, dome checker, bone collector, like Dexter, handles with the Black & Decker, so don't test her, holy man work to Mecca, palming a big stick, quiet as the Tesla, the stormtrooper, bald head Lex Luthor, King Cooper, flex on you Lex Luger, hit the hookah, nightmare, Fred Cougar, she wet scuba, all night Kama Sutra, I'm about paper, fuck a bitch, fuck a hater, custom seats like the coupe A to alligator, custom suits like I tailor mad flavor, RIP to Craig Sager, Blister Alpha and Omega, like what?
All right. Bo Blitz. Bo Blitz. Man, you was talking about flexing, and like I said, I seen the music video. Looks like you have a pretty strict workout regimen there.
Hey, man, you know what? Like I say, I mentioned it earlier. I've been blessed enough and humbled enough to be successful in so many other areas. Health and fitness is big, man. We deal with a lot of things in the African American community, as far as obesity, as far as hypertension, as far as diabetes. All those things are still very evident in the community that I see today. So, along with me putting out a certain type of music, I want to make sure that I'm also putting together or presenting an image that's going to help, kind of bring some attention to some of those things, because that's what I do. Yeah. I'm a fitness instructor. So when I'm not in the booth doing my other things, I'm helping other people change their lives, and I'm getting people on the right path, man. I'm a firm believer in what you do comes back to you. Where I come from, San Francisco, Hunters Point, I was born and raised on Potrero Hill, and just being in the city, it's a lot of things a lot of routes that you can take that, necessarily that won't lead you many places, There's a lot of people, trying to do certain things. So, myself, I focused on trying to become a better man. Like, you know what I mean? With my father not being around and kind of showing me the ropes, I heavily relied on my brothers, to kind of show me the ropes and to keep me down the path straight enough so I could live to become a man. Back then it was the shit to be 20. Like, oh, you a brother, you made it to 20? Oh, man, you made it to 20. Yeah. I'm like, why are we celebrating making it to 20, dog? You're going to be older way longer than you're going to be younger. What is this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What is this about? And in the 20 years that you have lived, 5 of them you were shitting on yourself in Pampers. The other 5 you was just learning how to, move around. And then the next 10, you thought you knew everything, beginning as a teenager. You know what I mean? So you really got to take all those things and put them into the right perspective, man, and really see it for what it is. And I was fortunate enough to be able to have people who cared about me, to be able to do stuff like that. So that's why I see the knowledge you're giving people, man, it's real, bro. And everybody ain't gonna tell you that. Some people gonna tell you what you want to hear. Some people ain't gonna tell you a god doggone thing, man. But what you're doing, keeping it real and actually giving people the honest insight, you're gonna help people, man. So that's exactly what I'm about. I'm about helping people and moving forward. I'd much rather pick you up, than push you down.
Thank you, man.
So
thank you.
Yeah, that's real talk, brother.
Yes, sir. And as a vegan, man, I have to salute you, man, because obesity and diabetes, man, is plaguing our people so bad, man. And it breaks my heart because they think it's so cool, to slop these cancerous sandwiches down. I don't even want to get into it because,
I know.
Yeah,
I know
man, that's a whole nother topic, man. Exactly. So I definitely have to salute you. Yeah, them trainers, they catch it, man. They catch it. Because you guys got to keep their morale up and keep them, keep pushing them to be a better version of themselves. And, I can do the mental thing, but you're doing the physical thing, and that requires a great deal of mental effort, too, because that has to happen first.
Right. Yeah, it takes a lot. It's a big commitment, man. It's a big commitment to be able to do things, but the important thing about it is doing it so you can show others that it can be done. Because to be honest, if I didn't have those days where I saw my brother getting up and putting on the suit to go, handle some work, or putting on a suit to go and do some things, or just doing certain actions, I wouldn't think that they, that they held me relevant. So those type of things really have a big impact on people, and I can really see it, the way it trickles down, from individual to individual, and how we as human beings, we all help shape each other, whether we know it or not. Somebody you get on the bus and, see somebody for 30 seconds, they can shape your day for the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Same way, I just, listen to some stuff or heard some stuff that can inspire me or spark my mind going, that I wasn't necessarily intended on hearing, but you brought up some good points that I know are going to resonate with me later and tomorrow as well. So, I mean, it's always a beautiful thing when you can take something good out of situations and see the good that people are trying to do, because it's not always the case. It's not always genuine,
Definitely. Well, Bo Blitz, man, you made it to the end. Thank you so much once again for not only being a genius, but for helping, people out there be the best version of themselves physically, mentally, and as well as being a great artist. And man, thank you again for your time and effort to decode my ramblings and share your truths with all of us. So I'd like to offer you the one last moment here to express anything else, say anything that you like to bring up, anything that we didn't talk about, interview yourself in itself. The floor is all yours.
Oh, okay, right on. I definitely want to give a couple quick shout-outs to some people who have been supporting me and helping me out. Miss Ross Radio out there in Miami. Shout out to Miss Ross. I'm holding it down. Universal Music Group, Artist Development. I got a big thank you to some people out there. Reverb Nation. A lot of my fans have been on there keeping up with me and following up with stuff, through my inconsistencies and through my strong points. So I want to give a thank you to y'all, all my family and everybody else out there who see me, who understands what I'm trying to do, and who really got a lot of support, man. I can't do it without your love, and I can't do it without y'all coming through and representing with me. So if you hadn't had a chance yet, Girl of My Dreams, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's 99 cents. Go in there and make that purchase, download it, give me some love, go check out the video. It's on my YouTube channel. You can go to my website. I have my own website. It's called amillionways.rocks. That's A Million Ways, AMILLION Ways, WAYS, rocks, ROCKS. And there's a whole bunch of other material on there you guys can check out and stuff like that. And if you got a Twitter or Instagram, you can follow me at Bo Blitz. That's my Instagram, Bo Blitz, and on Twitter as well, Bo Blitz. So, definitely want to get those shout-outs, man. And, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk with the fans and to be on the show, man. It's a blessing.
Yes, sir, definitely. And guys, just in case you didn't catch those links, we have most of them in the description of the show. So all you have to do is click the link. My finger did all the work for you. Send Denny a thank you note later. But nah. All right, Bo Blitz, everybody. Check out the music video. I'm telling you, it's dope.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.